Welcome to part 3 of my apartment renovation series. Today we'll be tackling what we call the book room. As I mentioned in the first episode of this series, this is my first time ever having multiple rooms. I am beyond excited to not only have a living room and a space for my desk, but also to have my very first personal library. The next episode in the series will be dedicated to building and decorating the bookshelf, so this one is going to focus on the rest of the room. As you can see behind me, it has turned out even better than I could have ever imagined. I love having a dedicated space that is separated from my bedroom that is just for socializing and getting my work done. It really has made me feel a lot more motivated. Without further ado, let's get into the beginning of when I first moved here. I wanted to start with my rug because obviously you have to work from the ground up. This specific rug has really been with me through it all. I've had it since high school and it has survived 3 different rooms with me, and I hope to keep it as long as I possibly can because it's my favorite rug ever. And it matches all of my other decor pieces. It really matches my style, which I feel like is a good thing for me to explain before we get into this too much. And for this room, I really wanted maximalism, 1970s meets boho with a lot of colors and patterns. I love having interesting things to look at, to pick up. I have a really hard time living in and especially working in a space that I don't feel inspired by, and having decor like this and interesting things to look at and things that make me happy really helps me with my creativity because my entire job and all of my hobbies have to do with creativity, so I'd be kind of screwed if I didn't feel creative ever. Back to the rug, I do feel like this rug is a perfect representation of my style, all of my decor pieces that I would later put into this room. The next step was adding the couch, and you actually got to see me get this couch. I was not expecting to get it. I am so glad that I did. It is perfect for the space. It's actually so comfortable on top of it all, and I could not be more happy with my couch selection. Just like the bedroom, I really wanted this place to feel lively with a bunch of plants, and although they are fake, it really does help liven the space up. And the one that I ended up putting by the couch is my massive floor palm plant. I don't know what it's actually called, but I wanted to bring a little bit of Wilmington back with me, even though I bought it here. But you know what I mean. It does remind me of my time living in a beach town, and I love palm trees. They're my favorite plant ever, and it just fits perfectly in the space it's in. Another thing that I really wanted in this room was to have a record wall. I have been collecting vinyl since middle school. I use my record player almost daily, at least several times a week. My collection has grown a lot though. I have a pretty impressive collection of vinyls, and I wanted somewhere I could display them but also store them. I had this boho display storage shelf situation going on here that I got in North Carolina when I lived there, and I originally got it to hold books because that was the only place I had room in my tiny little apartment to hold my books. But now it is my vinyl storage, and it is the perfect size for storing vinyls with the spines out. I decided I actually want my vinyls to be organized by person so it's easier for me to find them. My grandma and I are laying them out and we are working on organizing, which may take us a hot second. We have all of my vinyls separated by person, and now we're gonna go through and put them alphabetically. thrifted the coffee table that goes in front of my couch at the same time that I got the couch, and I actually have a video of that too. It's perfect in here. It's a perfect size. I love the shape of it, and later on you'll see me use the glass storage shelves to hold my different mugs and glass cups, which is perfect for me because I use those a ton, whether it's making chai or even just having water or a fun little lemonade moment in them. It makes it a lot more fun to drink it out of a fun glass. If you watched my bedroom video, you know that I mentioned I have 3 closets. I have 2 clothing closets. I know, crazy. But I also have a storage closet that is under the stairs. Nonetheless, a walk-in closet, and I did not take a ton of videos of me doing this because it truly was me just organizing everything. Not very fun. Yeah, I'm just so excited that I have an entire closet dedicated to, it's pretty much just all of my craft supplies. Going from having all those just chucked in bins under a lofted bed in my last apartment to now having a full closet dedicated to that is spectacular.
I think my task in the meantime is going to be putting these different desk type supplies away.
The next thing I wanted to tackle was the smaller decorative bookshelf. I have been collecting little decor pieces that are all over the place. I really wanted to have this be a decorative display shelf because originally this is the bookshelf that I had growing up that actually held my books, and I had to fit all my books on this, but now that I have proper bookshelves, again, you'll see in a separate video, I can use this one for decoration. It took me a very long time to be somewhat satisfied with the decorating that I did on this bookshelf. It still is not 100% up to the standard I want, but that might be something that I just pick at over time, and I've already taken stuff off, added things since filming. So if you have any tips, let me know. If you have any suggestions, let me know because I clearly do not know what I'm doing. We can't be good at everything.
It's another day on the job of working on these rooms. Let me give you a progress update because we brought almost all of my decor and put them on the bookshelves, which has been very helpful actually to not have books in here yet. This will be the last thing I do. In the meantime, it has been handy to use them to hold all my decor. It's crazy how this is the only bookshelf I've had my entire life, and now I have this, all of these. And we put all of my decor on here temporarily, and I'm gonna start trying to figure out how to style this. I'm not an interior designer. We're just gonna experiment for fun. As I'm scrolling through Pinterest trying to get inspiration for this bookshelf, I saw this super cute pin of these vases that people were putting paintbrushes in, and I thought, why not do that? And if I ever get an actual plant for these, I'll obviously just take out the paintbrushes, but I don't have a plant and I already have so many. I want to make this bookshelf as interesting as possible, and I want to style it well. I might have a hard time doing that because I have never styled the bookshelf before.
One of the things that I have been the most excited for doing is creating a bookish gallery wall. For example, I would buy a book related print from a small business, print it off, and put it in one of the various frames that I've been collecting. I did this with a lot of my longtime favorite books and series, and maybe one day I'll switch some out, but I really love how it turned out, and it's right next to my bookshelves. It truly is in the most perfect
The
spot.
next project I'm working on is my bookish gallery wall. If you watched one of my previous videos, I talked about this a bit more, but I've been collecting a bunch of bookish prints and then frames to put them in. And I have a plan for how I want them all arranged on the wall. And since my bookshelves are here, I wanted to put it on this wall. What I did was I roughly traced out the shape of each of these frames and then traced where I would need to put the thumbtack, and I stuck them on the wall, and I'm just kind of playing around with that to see exactly how I want them to be, which that has been a great idea. Otherwise, I'd be shifting these all over the place. So I'm going to keep playing around until I'm 100% happy with the setup, and then I'm going to hang them up there.
That gallery wall was was easy to do compared to the massive one that I have behind my couch. I started by laying out all the prints in a tape rectangle that I had measured approximately the size of what I wanted the gallery wall to be. I did that on the floor because then I was able to rearrange things and see how I wanted it to be laid out. Everything on the gallery wall is reused, so I had somewhat of an idea of what I wanted to do, but I still wanted it to look different from the other rooms that I've had a gallery wall in. That is one of the greatest things about doing these rooms, is that my style, of course, has evolved over time, but it hasn't changed, so I've been able to reuse so much.
I laid out what I think I want to be my gallery wall, so I can take a picture and then I can move it and put it up a lot easier.
The last piece of furniture that needed to make its way into the room before I could do more decorations, especially decorations on the wall, was my desk, because I wanted to make sure I was happy with where it was, and I needed to know exactly where it was so I could measure out the decorations for everything else, if that makes sense. Once the desk got in, going back to the vinyl wall, I was actually able to put the floating mounted glass shelves that I got. I love this because it doesn't harm the vinyls at all. I mean, before I've just been using command strips, and every once in a while it would tear at them a little bit, which broke my heart, but it was the only way I could display them, and now I have a great way to, and I can switch them out as much as I want to. I've seen people do it every month, and I think that's so fun, and I really want to do that now that I'm able to actually switch them out as much as I want to.
I'm trying to put up my record shelves, but I'm really struggling, so I'm gonna have to wait till someone can help me with that. But that will be 8 shelves there for 8 records. I think it's gonna look really nice, especially this will be open, so I measured it.
And then at this point, it was about time to just put up the rest of the decorations. Something else that I've always dreamed of having is a giant disco ball that goes over an orange couch. That has been a vision in my mind for so long, and now that I'm able to actually drill into the ceiling and hammer into the walls, I was able to achieve that with a disco ball I've had since high school. It brings me a lot of serotonin to see disco balls everywhere, especially a massive one just in the best viewing point of this entire room. Everything was coming together at this point, with the final pieces of decor adding throw pillows and a unique variety of a bunch of different things just all over the place where I felt like something was missing.
Time to update you guys on my progress so far. We are getting to the very end of it. My bedroom is done, aside from putting my TV mount and TV up, and my bathroom is done. Now I'm just finishing up this room, and it's all decor stuff left because we got my desk in last night. The new knob for this is coming. We lost the original one, so it looks kind of funky, but it's just there temporarily. I got my lamps up, and now I'm gonna hang up these there, I believe, and then that big disco ball, I think I'm gonna hang up there, and I want to put some things near or in the windows with command strips, so I'm gonna work on that now. I also got that lamp there.
Yeah, we can disco here one night, you know?
Look what I just did to myself. Guys, putting up disco balls is dangerous work.
Just so you all know, I still have that bruise on my leg, and it has been a month since that happened. Make sure you stay tuned over the next few weeks as this series continues with more renovation vlogs and then also tours. This personally was the room I was most excited about sharing, and I'm really excited that you guys can actually see it now and I can start filming in here now that these videos are posted. Consider subscribing if you are interested in seeing the rest of the series, but also I post every Friday in general. Lots more exciting content coming throughout the summer that I cannot wait to share with you all. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you next week.